The Baltimore Ravens, I've been telling everybody for the last few weeks, don't count them out, and I wasn't even higher register about it. Also wasn't alone. I'm not sitting here pitching it as if it's my sole idea. I mean, the number of Mike Tomlin never utilizes outside of the building chatter for his benefit, from what I'm told. Every single time when I say, hey, they say this, they say that, you're talking about that to your team, and his reaction is always, what matters is inside our building. And for him to now start talking about what's outside of the building isn't consistent for a lot of what he's talking about. But, hey, the Ravens are in the crapper. They're in the hole, but they're favorites to win the division despite being multiple games behind the Pittsburgh Steelers. That is, pretty offensive. But I don't know if he's going to use it against the Indianapolis Colts coming up. I mean, it's a big, huge game for the Pittsburgh Steelers because here come the Ravens. And the Ravens, Thursday Night Football was essentially about which team can utilize this 5-day stretch to catapult their season in a different direction. Both the Ravens and the Dolphins coming off of rousing victories. The Dolphins in Atlanta, where they said, Kirk Cousins, glad that you're still a Falcon for them as a backup because they thought you'd be the perfect guy to keep around, and instead, one big fat zero. We played the best game all year, complimentary football. Here we come. And then last night, the Ravens with Snoop Huntley, hey, if we can just win this one, Lamar's coming back, and then who knows what we can do. They win that one, Lamar comes back, and he throws for 4 touchdowns and no interceptions. And he does it with 5 or fewer incompletions. That's the 6th such career game for him, tying Peyton Manning for the most such games in the history of the National Football League. It's his 12th career game with no interceptions, 4 touchdown passes as well, period. That's tied for the 5th most games of all time. The only ones in front of him are named Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, and Tom Brady. And, it's no surprise that he does it against the Miami Dolphins because he loves torching them. 142.9 passer rating now in his 5 career starts against the Dolphins. Wow. I mentioned those 4 touchdown pass games for him. 3 of those 5 career games that I had mentioned in which he's gotten it against the Dolphins, against whom he went 9 for 9 to start the second half. But really, we could keep on about Lamar and keep on about it. Say Derrick Henry as well, who now has 12,000 rushing yards and 100 or more rushing touchdowns now. 144th game of his career he did it in. That's the 5th fastest to that mark. 10 behind Adrian Peterson, 11 behind Emmett, 12 behind LaDainian Tomlinson, but 29 behind Jim Brown, who did it in 115 games. Look him up, kids. Can't believe I just said that, but it's true. And 100 or more rush yards in 2 of his last 3 games for Derrick Henry. But it's also the defense. I don't know if we have that particular information. But weeks 1 through 5 for this Baltimore Ravens defense, they gave up 35 points per game and 408 yards per game allowed. And the opponent's first downs per game, 24. Only 2 takeaways. That was bottom 2 in the NFL. In the last month, since week 6, 13 points per game. Almost 100 fewer total yards per game. 5 takeaways now. That's what we're talking about. Complimentary football. That's what coaches always talk about. And John Harbaugh's got to feel really good about where they sit right now. 3-5. 2 games in a row. Lamar is back looking like Lamar, and everything is almost like a reset button halfway through their season.
I said it's been a long journey, man. It's been a hard road, and not just the 30 days, but even before that, and I'm proud of him. I'm proud of the way he came out and played, and proud of the way Tyler played last week. Both those 2 guys played well. I think T. Martin deserves a lot of credit. He did a great job with those guys, and Monk and the offensive coaches. I thought the game plan. I thought what we've done with the offense the last 2 weeks has been really, really, really good. Really, really excellent. So we got to keep building off that.
And they will. Any surprise of anything that I just said? It didn't look good, in the first half overall, but the second half they started looking like the Ravens that we've expected to see, which is beat up an opponent that's making mistakes and can have their will broken by someone like Derrick Henry and someone like Lamar Jackson finding Mark Andrews twice after the Dolphins made the mistakes, like fumbling inside their own 5-yard line, and also going for it on 4th and 1 in Baltimore's red zone, only to have a false start bring on a field goal attempt that they were trying not to take, and then have that field goal attempt go wide right, and then they march down the field and hit Mark Andrews for another touchdown. And Lamar, again, was brought up again about taking all the toys and funds and games out of the locker room. It was brought up again to Lamar, who, interestingly enough, wears a balaclava even in 70-degree Florida weather. It's amazing. I think he just likes playing it and hit it.
Yeah, I mean, it's do or die, win or go home. And usually, we start off winning games. We never be behind, but right now we're behind, and we all got to step it up.
Lamar, did it feel like your guys' season will be over in any way, but you saying this is going to do or die if you guys lost tonight?
No. Like I said, we locked in. We knowing it's do or die. Got to go out there and play football. We can't worry about mistakes, because mistakes happen in the NFL. Things like that are going to occur, but we just got to move on and keep doing what we're doing.
Normally, again, a 3-5 record. I have it written down here since 1990, since the playoffs began to expand in 1990. Just a 10.4% chance, just 10% of teams that started 3-5 made the playoffs, but usually that's a wild card conversation. The Steelers have the Indianapolis Colts at 7-1 coming into their house on Sunday. Tyler Warren, Penn Stater, is going back to the Keystone State to try and make the Steelers 500. Let's say that happens. It's just one game out for the Ravens. And if you look at their schedule, they have yet to play. I said it before. I'll keep saying it until I'm wrong. And I don't know if I'm going to be wrong. They have yet to play the Steelers, and they have yet to play the Cincinnati Bengals, who might start Jake Browning this weekend, which means if they do and they lose, let's just throw that out there because the Bears are coming in, and the Bears are pissed, and the Bears might perform better than they did against the Ravens last week. The Bengals will then fall to 3-6, which means the Ravens have officially leapfrogged them. They'll be in second place if the Bears go into Cincinnati and win that game. And then you tell me, I said yesterday that it's going to be a while till I don't take the Ravens in the NFL Game Day Morning Picks competition at Minnesota. Who knows, right? Who knows what they're going to look like this week against the Lions in idea. Detroit. Let's see. As you know, I root for J.J. McCarthy, Kevin O'Connell, and those Vikings are likable. But we'll see what happens. Then at Cleveland, home for the Jets, home for Cincinnati on a Thursday night short week. Flacco won a short week, but it was at home against the Steelers. And then there's the Steelers' first game. It's going to be at home to start the Sunday, December 7th at Cincinnati. That's one I'm going to circle right here because Sunday, December 14th, when Joe Burrow went down, that was the game that everybody circled saying 3 months from now, if it's just a 3-month injury, he'll come back for that one. That might make things a little different. It might change the way things look, but there's a month and a half between now and that point. Home for New England is something that I'll have to consider how both teams are playing at that point in time before I decide who I'm going to go with to win, but it's a home game for the Ravens. At Green Bay is a different story, and at Pittsburgh. But this is entirely possible for the Ravens to go on a run here. No doubt about it. Hey, you made it all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Check us out every single day streaming live on Disney Plus and the ESPN app 12 to 3 Eastern.